What is up, internet? It's your boy Alan back with another video. And today I'm still in Ho Chi Minh City. It's my second day, and I'm at this really cool area called Landmark 81. I've been spending a lot of my time in District 1, and honestly, it's a little bit too chaotic. You have no space to really think, and I've finally been able to think about my thoughts here and pull out the camera and make this video. So I wanted to talk about something I think a lot of people strive to do. Well, especially myself. This might be a reminder to myself as well as you guys, but it's about living in the moment. And the thing I keep realizing is I feel like I'm always striving for, the next job title, the next promotion, graduation, milestones of net worth, buying a house, I don't know, the next trip. And I think that comes from just the way a lot of us grow up. Of you graduate elementary school, you graduate middle school, you graduate high school, you graduate college, you get your first job, you get the next promotion, and that treadmill continues. It can really be never ending, actually. It's really all about your mindset at a certain point, but I think it really conditions us growing up of that system of continue to strive for the next thing. I think it's important to strive for things because that purpose gives you just something to shoot for. Like, I'm shooting to get a certain subscriber count on my YouTube channel, and that gives me the motivation and drive to pick up this camera every day and talk to y'all and think of things to talk about. But then I think about when I'm doing the process of making these videos, sometimes it robs me from the exact moment of making the video. I'm constantly thinking about, okay, next video, post it, edit it, post it, edit it. And it's also like that when I was working in my corporate job. It would always be something around, all right, make this slide deck, present it, good, get brownie points with the manager, make this data sheet, good, get brownie points with the sales team, do the sales enablement, good, get brownie points with the sales director, with my manager, and the rest of the marketing team. Even with this YouTube channel, I'm like, good, okay, this video is a good concept, it did well, good, move on to the next one. And I'm constantly, feels like I'm going through the motions of trying to achieve a certain goal I put in my head. Like, achieve a certain salary point, make a certain amount of money, certain net worth. And I think, like, once we get there, there's always another bigger moment, always another better moment. So nothing ever feels complete. Maybe it feels complete for that split second once you achieve that goal, but I don't think that moment's ever as big as the one we put into our minds. Like, there's no, like, nirvana feeling that you're just eternally euphoric once you achieve something else. It's a never-ending cycle, right? You graduate, you get a job. I've achieved certain goals of traveling to new countries, and I'm blessed to be in Ho Chi Minh. Look at this shit, it's so lit. And then I'm already thinking about, okay, like, let me think about what other part of Vietnam I need to go to and all this stuff. So there's always another mountain that I need to climb. It feels like I need to climb. It's like, once I get this job, I feel good. Once I hit this subscriber count, I'll feel good. Like, I remember when I was at 500 subscribers, I was like, oh my god, dude. Because I was at 338, and then I got to 500. I was like, oh my god, I feel so good. And that moment lasted for a day, maybe less than a day. And now I'm ready to think about, okay, let's get to the next milestone, 1,000. We've got to get to 1,000. Like, right now, I'm talking to the camera at this beautiful park in Ho Chi Minh, and I might never get a moment like this again. I definitely won't. Like, my life is gonna change. when am I going to be able to come back here solo dolo, no responsibilities besides making these videos and vlogs and talking to the camera. It's gonna be a pretty rare moment for me to get back here again. I'm not saying it's impossible, you know, I could come back here. So I just need to remind myself that, and you guys as well, I feel like we spend our whole lives chasing certain milestones, and then we go through the motions and we're constantly thinking about the future, but I'm pretty sure nobody in their goddamn life on their deathbed has ever said, oh, I wish I thought about the future more. And what I'm constantly thinking about is trying to be better at living in the moment and enjoying my accomplishments for what they are, and realizing that life is really made up of a bunch of small moments. This small moment of me speaking to this camera. It's kind of like a football player, talking American football, but an American football player that is waiting their whole careers to try to get to the Super Bowl. And to get to the Super Bowl, there's so many practices you have to get there. You have to do that every single day. Practice, practice, practice every day. And if you're lucky, you might make it to the Super Bowl. And if you're even more lucky, you might win one Super Bowl. But this player is spending their whole lives chasing this one big moment they might never get. And then once they get it, they'll be happy. If a player only loves the Super Bowl, he's going to hate most of his life, because most of his life is not going to be playing in the Super Bowl. It's mostly going to be at practice. But if you can learn to love practice, the training, the grind, you know, all the boring reps, the day-to-day, then he gets to find a better enjoyment of life. Because that destination of all of a sudden you arrived at the train station and the red carpets roll out and everything is fine and you've hit this nirvana point. That moment is probably never going to happen. The moments that happen every day are the small ones. So the process is where life is meant to be enjoyed, and that's just something I'm trying to remind myself every day. And it was a long-winded way of getting to that point. I hope I'm speaking to myself, as well as I'm speaking more to myself, but I wanted to share this lesson with everybody else because I think it's something everybody can take away. And thanks for tuning to this.